All right, we'll begin the readings from This Day newspaper, and on This Day newspaper here the headlines read: in pact with Enugu electorate, Mba pledges to deliver quality people-focused governance, vows to move state from $4.4 billion GDP to $30 billion in 8 years. All right, promises to create 100 billion naira venture capital for MSMEs. All right, other headlines on this day here: we see how personal income tax can solve Nigeria's revenue challenge. Also, as the major headline, it says here, Atiku, Nigeria doesn't need leader who will move her from rotten to bad situation. Says Tinubu represents greatest threat to national cohesion, democratic norms. APC, your statement in Kaduna, irresponsible. We are undeterred by plots to disrupt our program, PDP declares. Holds presidential rally in Kaduna today. Tambawa urges door-to-door campaign as ruling party mobilizes in Anambra. Tinubu to interact with northern leaders today. Well, a lot is happening today, Mr. Victor, I must say. And Atiku has been talking. He has been in the news for some, very, according to them, outrageous and careless comments about, some people in the country. So what's your reaction here again? Although this day is reporting it as very mild. It says Nigeria doesn't need a leader who will move her from rotten to bad situation. But right under that, it says that it also highlights where he's saying to Tinubu that Tinubu represents the greatest threat to national cohesion, democratic norms. I mean, does he have the right to say that?
So, he has this mantra of the unifier, building bridges, the unifier. Now he's talking about cohesion. That's more like also building bridges. But he really lets the cat loose during the weekend when he told, or will I say, encouraged the northern voters to vote for a northern candidate. And that caused a whole lot of tension in the country because everybody from different regions are now reacting. And mind you, I told you that this country, our election is about ethnicity, especially this time. Look at what is happening. The three major ethnic groups in this country are being well represented. The Labour, Igbos, and the Southeast. The APC, the Yoruba. Now you have the northern guys. In fact, the APC had to even make it worse by going to select a Muslim candidate. So joining ethnicity and religion together. Okay.
Crossing the line.
So the tension. Look at the statement. I mean, Abubakar Atiku. His statement. He said that during the Arewa Joint Committee in Kaduna. So he stated that what the average northerner needs is somebody who is from the north and also understands that part of the country and being able to build bridges across the country. The watchword. What the average northerner needs is somebody who is from the north. You see that? So, but he went also down to say that this is what the northerner needs, and he does not need a Yoruba or Igbo candidate. Telling them straight to their face, you do not need a Yoruba or Igbo candidate to come rule you from 2023 upwards. Okay, but now look at the issues. The Ohanese Ndibu are out there. The Afenifere out there. So all the Yoruba nation, different groups from the Yoruba,
the guns are out
there, and they are just blowing hot. The Tinubu, I'm wondering why haven't the Labour Party spoken respectfully? But the Tinubu guys have come out to say that, see, stop making all these utterances, because you are also the family that formed the APC, mind you. In 2015, he was out there for the APC. Okay, so it is now bringing us back to the promises our politicians make, that many a times they don't hold water. How will you be saying that you are a bridge maker, that you are a unifier? You've not even been given the opportunity to unify.
And
you are already
severing ties, separating everybody, and saying that these people and these people and these people are not the same. These are the people that are more superior than the others. These ones will lead better. It was a very reckless statement. I don't know.
But are these the will I say topics that should be making the headlines? No, I mean, what we really need now is persons to come out to tell us, say, see, this is how I am going to solve Nigeria problem. Not that I am going to solve this problem. How are you able to solve this problem? Problem of ethnicity, how will you be able to even solve it? Because it's a big issue in this country. Okay, we have different organizations out there that are protecting the right of every Nigerian, trying to make us as one. But a political candidate, a presidential candidate for that matter, is dividing the country. You call yourself a unifier, but you are dividing the country. Okay, so it spells so much, will I say, it spells negativity for him. Come to think of it, look at what's happening in the PDP. You have the southern governors attacking the northern guys. Reason because they say that the northern guys
are intentionally marginalizing them.
Yes, about all these things. Okay. So yeah, we will see more of this. Don't about that.
You know, just before we came on there, I was just telling you that for politicians about this time, it is a time to make direct statements that you actually mean and keep it clean. It is not wise to, you know, make ambiguous statements and just leave it like that. People will always interpret it the way they want to interpret it. Now he has gone ahead to make this statement, and now I'm sure people from his side are beginning to say that's not what he meant. People are misinterpreting it. Why say things in that manner anyway? At a time like this where you're supposed to be campaigning clean, you know, issue-based campaigns. That's what we expect from him. But it goes to tell you that, well, Nigerians, you know, my own message to Nigerians is that they should look and keep their ears wide open. These are the things before now that Nigerians will listen to and don't make any meaning out of it, and still vote Atiku or his likes into office. But now Nigerians are more woke. They are more, they know what they want now. And then, mind you, I keep saying that a lot of Nigerians sees the Labour Party candidate as their only hope. So by the time these other guys are making statements like this, it makes more Nigerians to say, oh, Peter Obi has been talking like forever. He talks every time. He's always talking. He's not crossing lines. He's very clean with his comments. And this is just the beginning of the campaigns, and people are already making blunder here and there. I mean, I am surprised and shocked to my bone that a man of that caliber would make this kind of mistake. And for me, I just feel that he was speaking his mind. And that's what people like Governor Wike and the rest of them have been fighting and saying that, oh, my dear, and never again will these guys from this other side or from the north come to make us feel like we're not relevant. And that is exactly your point. So much ethnic division. I mean, and we expect that, yes, for Atiku that said that he's coming as a unifier. He should have been unifying us with the kind of things he's saying. I mean, campaign on that level. Don't go against it, because nobody is sleeping anymore. Nigerians are woke. They are listening. They are hearing. Even over the weekend, I saw Tinubu at a conference in Kaduna, where the Kaduna State Governor, organized, and he was saying some things that people, described as being off point. And I saw how much it trended on social media. So people are listening. They are listening. And this is what these politicians should be aware of. They are listening. And yeah, you want to add?
Yes, and like we can see in the north, they are ravaged by poverty and insecurity. How can Atiku be using? That is one thing I don't understand about Nigerians. You are suffering and you need help, and you are looking towards ethnicity, your brother to be in charge. Are you getting that?
It's ridiculous.
The same month, in fact, in Nigeria as a whole, we have 21 states that have IDPs, internally displaced persons. They have IDP camps. And the north, almost every state in the north have IDPs. So are we talking about ethnicity? Are we supposed to be talking about ethnicity now? Or should we be talking about solutions to make sure that these persons go back to their ancestral homes, go back to their homes, go back to making a living? What about the poverty line of the country? It is obvious in the north. So the north should also know that, see, this is not just about ethnicity. You've had a president that is almost going 8 years and was unable to solve your problem. You now want another one. So that is just the question. Do we want development, or do we want my brother and my sister to be my leader. That is the question here.
We don't need that at the moment. Nigeria is in a position that needs someone that can really drive us out of this dungeon that we found ourselves. All right, we need to move on quickly, and we're going on to our next paper, and that will be the Daily Sun. And the Daily Sun says here as a headline, Kanu, Igbo lawyers tackle federal government, accuses Malami of court contempt. Right, other headlines here, it says, PDP alleges plot to disrupt Kaduna campaign rally. That is on page 6 of the Daily Sun. As a major headline, it says, flood spreads more havoc, sorrow, agony takes over Ugeli Asaba Highway, East-West Road. 603 lives lost, many injured, 2.5 million displaced, says humanitarian minister. You'll find that story still on page 6 of the Daily Sun newspaper. And at the bottom part of the Daily Sun, we see again Rivers ranks first in fiscal performance budget. Speaking there, you find that story on page 2 of the Daily Sun. But I'd like us to talk about the flood that is ravaging many parts of the country right now. I've seen videos. I'm sure you too, you've been seeing videos, and it doesn't look good out there. Many parts of Bayelsa State where I'm from, I can tell you it's already in water. My parents are already out of their houses, their home is already submerged in water, and they have left, where they're staying, and hanging on somewhere. This is just someone close to me. There are millions of people out there like this that have been, rendered homeless. People are also dying. The number says 603, but we know that it could be more than that, and it has resulted to a humanitarian crisis that is really booming out there. What's your reaction to the current happening as regards the flooding?
This statement you just made just reminded me of some of my clients out there, and I know that their houses are
submerged already.
And you come to think of it, I mean, the building industry in Nigeria now, building is a hell of a job.
It's expensive.
The cost of materials, cost of everything has gone so high. And when you look at your investment getting destroyed by flood, it's really horrifying. Secondly, it's been registered that 700 Nigerians have died out of this flooding that just happened there within the last 1 week. Unfortunately, just around the weekend, on Saturday, to use the east-west road, you can't even cross through Bayelsa to Warri.
It's completely cut off.
Totally cut off.
And many parts,
returning back.
Many parts of the road have been destroyed by the water, washed off.
Wow.
So as it is now, when this water resides or dries up, government will need to go back and rebuild roads because they have been washed off. As in, not like there's just water on the road. It's been washed off. So parts of the East-West Road leading up from somewhere around Ahoda in Rivers State up till after Patani leading up to Ugeli is flooded, completely taken up by water. And you see people that are journeying along that road now use tippers, all those big trucks. That's what they use, implying for one point. At some other point, the tippers cannot even go further, so they use boats.
Wow.
Yeah, speed boats on East-West Road. Wow. It is that bad. That's how, because I got a direct report from some of my cousins that traveled from Bayelsa to Port Harcourt because of the situation, and they had to use tipper at some point. At some other point, they used boats because the water was flowing. The current is high, and then it's really bad. So it's something that I don't know if the government can do much now, except to relocate people to maybe camps that they can have as their homes for now until the water begins to dry up. I think my most concern is the fact that a lot of farms are being taken up by this water, thereby causing food shortages. There's no food, there is poor sanitary condition for a lot more, because people don't have their houses. Where are they going to bathe? Where are they going to do the morning routine of cleaning up and all of that? A lot is going on. People are out there and they are suffering. A lot of villages have been displaced. In River State here, I saw videos from many parts of the Orashi region, Ahuda. The Ahuda portion of the East-West Road, you need to see it in the video. It's gone. You won't even know that that's Ahuda. And I know that along that line, we had a lot of businesses there. All of those are out. So a lot of losses. I don't know if they've been able to estimate the losses that Nigerians have already incurred at the moment, but this is just down here in the south. There's also, Kogi State, the middle belt, that is badly affected by this. And then there's Anambra State too, because of course that River Niger also passes through Anambra State. So they are also facing the heat of this. And people have died there. They've lost more than 6 people in Anambra State already. Businesses, countless businesses, roads, and all of that. So a lot is happening. It's not like this came without a warning though.
Yes.
And so my own is, I've always been asking, why is it that the government waits for all of this to happen before we begin to cry for help?
So look at the crazy things that is happening. Just in Ahoda, they were stating in a particular community, I can't remember the name, that the only big space that they had, that they wanted to use for IDP, that the politicians used it to do campaign. While the other side were getting flooded, they were busy doing campaign. That's one. Some political parties now came to do relief plus campaign, forgetting that there is a division between humanity and politics, and playing politics.
If all those people die, who is going to come and vote for you?
I wonder.
Well, as we speak like this, a lot of people have already lost their voters card to this water.
100%.
Yes.
100%.
A lot of people don't know
your life.
Their properties, their certificates, most of these things have been destroyed by the water, because some of them just went to bed saying that the water has not risen up to this level today. Maybe by next tomorrow we will find a way to leave this place. And then they woke up and dropped their legs inside water.
Exactly.
And the water kept rising. Exactly. So they need to move. So they didn't get to pack all their properties. So some, as we speak like this, we have lost a good number of people that were meant to vote in the general elections in this water matter. So what are these politicians doing? This is the time to save people. This is time to go all out for your brother, for your sister, for your friends, for your families. Let them be safe first before we talk about campaigning. If else, you will not have anybody to campaign to. This is a serious humanitarian crisis that is attracting international, organizations and people outside the shores of this country, saying that Nigeria is facing a major humanitarian crisis. Let's help them. And funds are being raised here and there to help people here in the country. Whereas those of us here, our politicians and the elites here, are not thinking in that light. Because, it's happening close to the election period. They are all about how they are going to harness this time to show that, yes, I'm for the people. I see pictures of politicians taking advantage of this time to say, okay, yes, I get 20 bags of rice to IDPs there, so please, I demand their loyalty. I mean, this is not the time for that. People will first of all be alive before you can even have votes. Yeah, I want to add.
Let me come into economics about this flooding.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you know that we could have reduced the impact of this flooding had even we've been dredging our River Niger and our River Benue lines? Look at how it works. Our sand in the world, we have good sand. Our sharp sand is so good for construction. Do you know that Dubai, the great Dubai city, the great Emirate city of Dubai, they do not have quality sand over there. So what did they do when they were even building the tallest building in the world? They were buying sand outside the shores of UAE. In fact, at the time, they were even transporting sand in ships. Load sand in ships from Egypt to Dubai to build. But in Nigeria is too blessed. Yeah. Nigeria is too blessed. But we are suffering so much poverty. Now, just dredging. Let's say we pull out every year, we set aside 1 trillion naira just to dredge the River Niger and River Benue. What are you doing at the same time? We are creating more ports. That is why they were even talking about restructuring. But let me not just go too far. Let me stay around my circle. Now, when you are dredging, you are bringing out sand. That sand alone, 2 things are happening. You are making your waterways, you are creating more waterways for vessels and ships to pass through. Secondly, you are creating jobs, feasible jobs, not by you are dashing people money. You are running the economy. People are buying sand. Manufacturing companies are producing T-packs. The steel industry is throwing in their bit by bringing in steels to do these jobs. My brother, by the time you pack, mind you, this sand, you are still selling them as government. And let's just even put it at the rate of 20% after revenue, 20% profit on them. You are still making money. At the same time, providing employment. My brother, if we had been dredging River Niger the rate of 1 trillion naira every year, by now, my brother, we must have made so much money out of that line. And at the same time, you are saving lives.
Because they are meant to have saved lives because they were informed, I believe, maybe a year before now too. I don't think Cameroon, if they say it is because of the dam that was released, the water from the dam is what is causing all of this havoc. Okay, agreeably, that could be the matter. They did not just release this dam. According to what I hear, there has been an agreement over time that they will be releasing water from this dam from time to time. And I'm sure in that agreement, they have time of notice or notification that they must have given to our government. Why didn't they do anything about it? For a state like Ogitu, where we have the River Niger, where and River Benue meeting, they didn't do anything. They waited until water ravaged more than half of the state. And then the governor is dancing around, even fighting, have time to even fight with Dangote over land, seizing land. People are dying. I don't understand how our politicians think, because I don't know whether money makes them feel like, oh, it will never get to me. Before it gets to me, I'll fly out with a chopper or something. It's really sad that, you know, I remember some of the lines from Lucky Dube, the late Lucky Dube's song, where he says that, what are you, a rich man, if you don't think about the poor man? Like you don't think about the well-being of the poor man. What kind of rich man are you? It is such a very important question that they should be asking themselves. Okay, you the rich man, without the poor man, you are nothing. You don't, the hype that you feel, you don't even have it. Who is going to hype you now? So I think both the rich and the poor balances out themselves. You cannot be out there and people are suffering so much. If you know how bad I felt looking at the videos and pictures, and then when I heard about my mom's situation and also relatives around that are all in this mess, it's a very serious thing. I feel the government should not allow to happen again. Even if we manage to go through this time, because somehow Nigerians are very resilient. They always find a way of surviving whatever challenges life, nature, politicians, democracy throws at them. They always find a way to walk around it and just live through it. Even if we go through this, I hope this doesn't repeat itself again. I mean, we should know better. This happened in 2012. And then you allowed something worse than that of 2012 to repeat itself again in 2022. I mean, it's absurd. I'm angry at the way it's been handled, and I hope that this doesn't really happen again. And I really condole with families that have lost loved ones. A lot of properties. We cannot even talk about properties that have been lost to this water situation. Cars, houses. You know, houses. Some of them will survive the flood. Most of them won't survive the floods. Because some of these houses are already old, and once water begin to soak into these blocks, because the level of water, I don't think it will drain out in a day or two. It will take months to really drain out. So it's a lot. Well, it's quite an unfortunate situation. I just really hope that the federal government will really respond and save lives first before talking about, you know, interventions and all of those things they will need to do for the victims of this flood, because people are really suffering out there, and I really feel for them. A lot of people and my family members, inclusive friends, you know, that live around here, have all been affected, and it's a very dire situation. I hope they do that on time. All right, we're going to move on to our next paper, and that will be our last paper for today, Monday, but we will go into the details of that paper or headlines on that paper after a short break. So you stay tuned. When we come back, we will jump right into the headlines on the Guardian newspaper. Now that you have registered for your PVC, it doesn't stop there. Ensure you pick up your PVC. Be alert. Join many Nigerians to vote credible leaders that will change the tide of this nation. Do not sell your vote. Remember, this is our future. Your vote is your voice.
This message is proudly brought to you by Thav Media Limited.
Okay, so we're moving to the Guardian, like I told you, and on the Guardian here from the top it says, again, Rivers ranks first in fiscal performance budget speaking there. All right, if you need to know how they have ranked number 1 in fiscal performance, please pick up a copy of the Guardian newspaper. And moving on to other headlines, the major headline now, it says Nigeria's hunger level, serious ranks 103 out of 121 countries. Right, it says it ranks Nigeria hunger level, serious ranks 103 out of 121 countries. That's a very, very serious ranking there. Yeah, it's a disturbing one, you know. Other headlines here, we see premium parallel market concedes 300 naira per dollar, exceeds 300 naira per dollar, I beg your pardon. Also, we see here flooding to impact property demand value in 18 states. Right, if you need to know how, you go to page 18 of the Guardian newspaper to read of the details of that story. But Mr. Victor, I want to come to you quickly. Let's talk about Nigeria's hunger level. It says, you know, on the paper headline here, it says it's been described as being serious. And yes, of course it's serious. Out of 121 countries, we rank 103. That's a very serious one. Now let us do this one. How come we are so hungry? What's going on?
Already now, this is not new to me because we're already the world poverty capital of the world.
Wow.
So coming out to poverty and hunger, they're not brothers and sisters. So coming out to tell us here, affirming that we've done 104th position against 116. 116 or 121?
121.
121. Okay. Okay. Now, crazy numbers, no two ways about that. But if you now ask, what has been happening over time? We've been dropping this number from 2015. I am not here to talk about politics, really talk about politics. Yes, this also is also hinged in leadership and politics of the country, because since 2015 it's been dropping and dropping. Okay, reason why we should, going forward to the election, this is campaign season, we should be talking about people that have the ideas. You need to come and tell us ideas, and not just also telling us ideas. Let's also find out that, do you have track records of implementing ideas, bringing them to fruition? Okay, Nigeria is so suffering. Look at GDP. This is just about poverty and hunger. Look at GDP. Our GDP, yes, we added 3.1% recently, but since 2015 we've been dropping and dropping by numbers. We are around there. We are hovering around $2,400 per capita nominal. I mean, by capital nominal. But when you go to the world, when you check out the oh my God, you just be crazy. Nigeria is so blessed. That's where I'm coming. Where I'm coming from now. Nigeria is so blessed. I don't see why Nigeria should be down the ladder when topics like this comes up. Poverty, hunger, low GDP. In GDP, we are doing around 160, about 160 against 190 when calculated around the world. Now let's ask, let's do a bit of comparative analysis between Ireland is doing around 4th position in the world. Ireland in the world. Now, though by capital is being calculated, I mean for GDP is being calculated by your population. Nigeria is doing about 200 million. Ireland is doing about just 5 million. So when you do the total revenue they get over the population they have, you have the GDP. But in this case, you now ask, Ireland that is doing so well will still have Luxembourg, we still have the Cayman Islands and all that down there. But I'm picking Ireland reason because Ireland, they are not blessed as us. Their focus is on human capital. And mind you, in the world of today, population goes a long way in building economy. Yeah. Look at what China is doing with their population. Look at what India is doing with their population. In Nigerian case, poverty is hitting us.
And the population is working against the economy.
Population is working against our economy. Look at what Ireland they have. They have agriculture. We have agriculture, but unfortunately, when I mean we have agriculture, we have people that are out there that want to farm, go to the north, but
the enabling environment is not there. Insecurity has ravaged everything.
My brother, look at the gross land that we have everywhere in the country.
Yeah, especially in the northern part.
Look at Ogoni. Okuninda is
In the
just
north,
here.
you will even travel. You travel 5 hours. You have not seen any house. You're just driving through an open land.
And they are fertile.
Fertile, very fertile.
So look at Ireland using their agriculture well and using their tech very well. Pharmaceutical industry, they are a research-based country, so they are doing so well just without natural resources. In Nigeria, we have natural resources. We have the people that have the will. Nigerians have the will, the doggedness, the resilience to succeed. But when you have challenges with hunger, my brother, hunger will deal with you. That all those your ideas, you will never bring them to action because you want to first eat and you want to make sure that your children, if you are a family man, you must make sure that your children are able to eat before you start taking, because putting your idea to work, just like in fintech, in tech, in finance, yes, these people go out there to put their ideas to work, and they have the backbone, they have the government, they have different kinds of welfare that they can less on, they can use as the as absorbers when push comes to shove. But in Nigeria, my brother, if you fail, you are failing. In fact, from that your failure, you will die. Hunger will kill you, you will die. So what are our youth doing? Because of they are trying to protect themselves from going hungry. They are not taking enough risk. As far as I'm concerned, when it comes to tech, okay, look at what just happened. Recently, a list came out from the World Innovation Group. They came out with the list and they rated Nigeria so low. When I saw that list, Nigeria was so low, about 150 against. Look at what we are talking. Poverty low.
Everything
GDP,
is low here.
Hunger high. Innovation very low. Yes, we've been talking about fintech, this fintech that. Now let me tell you, most of these fintech companies and owners are not even in Nigeria. They have jackpot. They have left these shores. Yes, some of them started developing the company here, but many of them are not even here to run these businesses. What am I telling you, my brother? That is why you see many POS agents, graduates.
That's what
you go and study mathematics. You are now a POS agent carrying POS about. My brother, reason because one, we know that there are no jobs, but in some of these countries, you can as well apply for soft loans. That if you have ideas, go and develop your ideas. Governments are there to give you grants. In Nigeria, we are not talking about grants. We are talking about the few, the little persons out there that is stealing the commonwealth of the nations, that is dwindling us down, that we don't even have enough money to do plenty of the projects that are out there for us. Are we talking about health? You need to be alive first before you start talking about creating.
Okay?
I agree with you. This has reduced Nigeria so bad that poverty is now our name.
And it's really
an election is coming forward. That is why I'm saying, see, even from this election, I'm so scared. Why am I scared? Because these politicians will bring,
they will fall prey to the political
5,000, they bring that 5,000 people, will embrace them and go and vote for the 5,000 that they've been given. Because of what? With that 5,000, they can at least kill the immediate problem, which is hunger.
So true. And this is an unfortunate situation. We're hoping that this is overturned over time, though. But it's unfortunate that, the whole world sees the problem that Nigeria has. But unfortunately, Nigerians and the leadership don't seem to see that we are in a dire situation. Well, that's all we'll be ending that's where we'll be ending our newspaper reviews on the headlines today. Thank you so much, Mr. Victor.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for always making it through. And to our viewers, want to thank you so much for staying with us up to this time. I know we've spent a lot of time today, but pardon us, we just can't help, going into the situations full time the way we do every other day. But you can also drop your comments and your reactions in the comment section. We're waiting to hear from you. But that's all we'll be taking today, the 17th of October, 2022. Until next time I come your way again, my name is William Sabule. You stay well and stay safe out there.